Ready to step into a world like no other? Join us on an unforgettable 3-day journey through Bolivia's breathtaking Uyuni Salt Flats, colorful lagoons, and otherworldly landscapes, all the way down to the border crossing into Chile. From epic sunsets to incredible wildlife, this adventure had it all. So get ready because this 3-day journey starts now. Tonight we are taking an overnight bus from here in La Paz to Uyuni. It's going to take us about 10.5 hours, and we're hoping we get a decent night's sleep.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, welcome aboard to the Turismo bus with destination to Uyuni. In a few minutes, I will come by your seats to offer you hot dinner and drinks that we have for you. And all of you have a small bottle of water, a pillow, and a blanket. The bus is gonna ride tomorrow to Uyuni around 7 to 7:30. And before arriving, the bus usually has a stop in a viewpoint. So once arriving there, you can get out for a couple of minutes, enjoy the sunrise, and you're gonna have the breakfast service as well.
Overall, the bus ride went pretty well. The seats were fairly comfy and reclined back pretty far. We were dropped off in the center of town, where we were picked up by our tour company and taken to their office to pay the fees and meet our guide. We then hopped in the Jeep and headed to our first stop.
We're at the train graveyard.
Yeah, train cemetery.
Train cemetery.
Yes, in Uyuni.
Yep.
I thought it was going to be a further drive from the office.
Yeah, I was kind of
a couple minutes.
putting my headphones on, getting ready for like a 20-30 minute drive. Yeah, it was 5 minutes.
Pretty busy, obviously, assuming all of the tours basically start at the same time. Mostly just people climbing on the trains for cool pictures. The trains have been here since around 1950.
I guess after the Second World War, mineral prices collapsed and it made these trains not very affordable to run anymore. There is still a train that runs on a track.
Between the mine and where they're going to be transported. I think he said it runs 4 to 5 times a week. And now we're probably just going to go around and look at some trains.
Get some rusty trains
Maybe
and hopefully
have about 30 minutes.
Not injure ourselves.
Yes, exactly. That's the plan. Dave misplaced his hat.
It's a nice way of saying just lost it.
Yeah, where did you lose it?
If I knew, I'd find it.
Dave lost his hat when we were biking Death Road, so might have to get on that terrifying bunny hat over there. So it is currently the dry season and winter here on the Salt Flats, but there was still some water available out on the flats. I mean, it's also peak sun right now, so the mirror effect isn't as best as it could be, but it's just really cool to actually be able to see it with water on it. And then we're going to be going and doing some more of like the photos on the dry part. But
you can see how cool it would be if it was all
oh my gosh, if it was the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be really cool. But even still, like, I'm glad we got to kind of see it both ways. Our guide gave us the option of coming here and spending less time at the previous stop. So we just spent 15 minutes there so that we could come and spend 15 to 20 minutes here, taking photos, looking around, flying some drones. It's definitely a good idea to kind of add this stop. Pushes our lunch a little bit later, but totally worth it. It's just very cool. Is there anything you want to add? However, we are not wearing appropriate footwear for this. Obviously, was not anticipating there being water, so we're just wearing our Ultras, and they are not waterproof.
So we're about halfway through the day, I think. We just stopped for lunch. It was pretty good. There was like a potato salad, quinoa, which was really fluffy. I don't know if I've ever had quinoa like...
I think it was just properly cooked, and I think we are incapable of cooking quinoa properly.
But I mean, even in Peru, we were having quinoa, and it's still very good, but yeah, it was just really fluffy. I really enjoyed it. And Bolivian meat. So he said vicuña, but I don't think people heard him, and I think he assumed that people didn't understand what that was. So instead of repeating it, he just said, oh, it's beef. Not quite. But I will say it looked like beef, and it kind of tasted like it, and it was quite lean. I'll put a picture up of what a vicuña is.
Or if it was just cooked the same way my mother cooks roast beef.
Like all the way?
All the way.
No, mine had a little bit of pink in the middle.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I required liquid with each bite.
Anyways, the food was generally speaking pretty good.
It is pretty good.
We ate in this little like salt hut type thing. I'm curious to know if during the rainy season, maybe that's why they have it built up all around the bottom so it doesn't melt, dissolve.
I wasn't listening to anything you were saying.
So we're here for another like 15 minutes, and then we're gonna hop back in the truck on our way to the island that has all the cacti on it, and we're gonna stop along the way to take some perspective photos.
Dinosaur stuff.
Dinosaur stuff, probably. So anyways, that's basically where we're at so far today. So far so good. I don't even know what time it is.
2 o'clock.
It's 2 o'clock.
Did I just lie to you?
I don't know, did you?
It's actually 2 o'clock. It's 2:12.
It is 2:12. Dave's a liar.
Okay.
So now we are just out in the middle of nowhere, I guess in the middle of the salt flats, and taking funny pictures and videos. Dave's currently chasing the truck with the drone, see how that turns out. I'm gonna get out of the way so I don't get run over. Look how big these crystals are. They're just massive. Nope.
The Incahuasi Island, they say, well, Incahuasi is in Quechua, okay? Incahuasi could be like English Inca house. It's 60 degrees of view of the salt flats from the top. The total depth, it could be like 120 meters, they say. But in some studies, they say it could be like 200 meters in the center. And then it is said that could contain all the salt flats like 10 billion tons of salt, from which 25,000 tons are extracted annually.
So it costs 30 Bolivianos per person to come to the island with all the cacti. Now we're gonna go check it out. Gracias.
$40,000 years ago, this island was underwater. All this lake, even these salt flats. When those lakes, right, it just left salt flats. Okay, so all these rocks are covered by corals too.
We made it up to the top.
Yep.
To the 360 viewpoint.
A lot of salt.
A lot of salt, a lot of cacti, a lot of coral. Just, yeah.
Yep.
We got.
After finishing up at the island, we drove out into the middle of the salt flats to watch the sunset before heading to the hotel.
All right, so we have arrived at our hotel. Actually, probably about almost an hour ago now, but we basically came in, dropped our bags, and went immediately to go have dinner. But we've already made this place into a disaster, so It's currently 9 degrees Celsius in our room, but we have our warm sleeping bags, plus there's a ton of blankets on the beds too, so hopefully that'll help keep us nice and toasty. In our room, we've got a single bed, and then that's gonna be bigger than a double.
It looks like kind of like a queen.
I think it might be a queen. And then something I wasn't really expecting was having a super large bathroom. Prepare yourself. It's very, I can't tell if it's like blue or lavender. Toilet, sink, and then a very large shower actually. And there is hot water, but I just can't imagine, like, I feel like a hot shower would feel really nice right now, but I do not want to have to deal with getting out of a hot shower into 9-degree weather. So I think we're just going to pass on that for the evening. But yeah, it's a nice cozy spot. Good morning from somewhere in the middle of Bolivia.
Yes.
I'm not entirely sure what the town's called that we're in. Slept here last night at I keep wanting to call it the Ice Hotel, partially because it looks like ice and partially because it's so freaking cold. But no, it's Salt Hotel.
Salt Hotel.
We are somehow the first ones at breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
So that's impressive for us. So we're just waiting for the rest of our group to arrive before we get into it. I think it's a pretty busy day today.
Yeah, I think there's like a lot of lagoons.
Yeah, there's 3 or 4 lagoons and a couple other things, I think, maybe. I think the initial drive to the first lagoon is 2 hours. Yes, thank you. Got some aguas calientes.
It's just hot water.
Yes. What am I looking at?
Right here?
Oh, look.
Oh yeah, you'll get one.
Oh, and a baby one. Oh my gosh, they're so cute. So we just stopped for a 10-15 minute break after driving through another salt flats. Yeah, it's freaking freezing, but pretty beautiful. We've seen a few vicuña running through the salt. And
So what is this place?
yeah, so this is the same train tracks
Gotcha.
that we saw at the train
Gotcha.
cemetery yesterday. And this right here is the volcano. Oh, look, there's go! Oh, there's another one going right across the road.
Oh, he's so fast.
What is he doing? All right, Dave. So you got a llama sausage. Llama? Llama.
Llama sausage.
Give it a go. How is it?
Hard to eat with a stuffed up nose.
Oh, yeah. Flavor-wise, can you taste it? And B, is it good?
Good.
It's good. I'm going to try a little bite, but just of the sausage. That was good. All right, so I couldn't tell you the name of the volcano, but I got a photo of the sign. But I didn't realize, neither of us realized, that it was actually smoking on the left side. You can see it's smoking. So is there something in the water that they're eating that's making them pink? Algae?
Yeah, they absorb through their nose.
They absorb it through their nose?
Yeah, it's like chicken or ducks, like open beak or nose. They just through their nose.
Oh, that sounds uncomfortable. Alright, so these guys here are Andean flamingos. They're whiter in color and they are a bit taller than the ones that we were seeing before.
That was busted, yes, a bit.
Oh no. How's the day gone so far?
It's going well. Seen a lot of flamingos, which I
Yeah.
mean is the whole point of going on this multi-day trek, is to see a lot of flamingos.
Yeah, because you get to drive further enough down that you actually get to see them. I think the 2-day tour basically sees the Salt Flats and the Cactus Island.
We've seen a lot of wildlife today. We saw some of those deer little
I
things.
want to say they're vicuñas.
Then we saw a fox.
Yeah, an Andean fox.
And then we saw those bird things.
That kind of reminded me of like ostriches.
Yeah, 100% like ostriches.
Or like the Roadrunner. And then yeah, tons of flamingos. And then we just had lunch. And it's so funny because yesterday our guide, I've now realized, was joking and said that we were eating vicuña when it was actually beef. And then as he was showing us what we were having for lunch today, he said we were having flamingo. It was chicken.
From here we're going to go see some more lagoons.
That's a hair coming off, yeah. So now we've just taken a stop at Bolivia's Rainbow Mountain. Let me tell you, it's a lot easier to get to this one, at least because you're driven, as opposed to doing a big long hike. This mountain here and this one here are Bolivia, and then the little one you can see peeking up over here, that's the border with Chile. So we just arrived at our last stop for the day before we head to the hotel, and we are at Laguna Colorada. So it's like a red lagoon. Currently it's kind of more of like a reddish brown. I guess when it's windy is when you really see that it's red. In the summer, spring and summer months, there's like thousands, tens of thousands even, flamingos. Our guide basically said that there's so many that it's so loud constantly. And I can definitely still hear them from up here, but there's also a ton of alpacas down by the water too, so I'm sure we're gonna make our way down there. When you first arrive at this area, I guess it's like a national park. You have to go sign in, you need your passport, or at the very least you need your passport number, and then it costs 150 Bolivianos per person, which is around $30 Canadian. I believe that includes more than just this lagoon. I think there's some things that we're doing tomorrow that we're going to need this same ticket for. And we're just currently walking along like a viewpoint bridge situation.
Yeah, it's like on its own little peninsula.
Yeah. So you kind of have the lagoon on both sides. So after that ridge walkway, there's a little cafe and baños. It's only about a 10-15 minute drive from the Laguna Colorada to our accommodation for the night. Alright, so Dave just went and got Wi-Fi. We haven't had that in a couple days now.
Yes.
And we actually require it basically because we need to fill out our entry forms into Chile. That was 20 Bolivianos to get access, and I believe we have access until 9, I assume, because we only have electricity from now until around 9 o'clock. I don't know if that also means that's only when the water's running. We will find out.
You should assume the world kind of just comes to an end at around 9 o'clock.
Yeah, everything just stops at 9. It's 10 to 6 right now. I think we're having tea around 6 p.m. and I think you said dinner was at 7. Good morning. It's day 3 of the Salt Flats tour. It's our final morning. It's currently about 10 to 6 and we're just finishing packing up. And then I think it's about a 50-minute drive to the first stop, which is a geyser. It's currently 4 degrees Celsius in our room. We managed to stay pretty warm last night. But yeah, just had a very quick breakfast, coffee, tea, and yeah. I was just packing up and heading out. Is it okay? Ooh, I'm outside. So we just came for a quick stop at the geysers, just for about 5 minutes. And yeah, the one that I was standing next to is like a regulated one. So a certain amount comes out at once. And I was able to put my shoes in there and get them cleaned up and touch it. And it was warm, not hot. Dave, were you, Dave's cold. And luckily though, it doesn't smell like anything.
It is nice.
So these geysers are all natural, so there's no regulation on the pressure or anything like that. Right now we're at 4,800 meters in elevation, and our guide was mentioning that scientists think that this is a supervolcano, and apparently, yeah, we'll see a bunch of geysers and there should be some boiling water. It's supposedly like normal, like a normal geyser. It smells like eggs, but I'm pretty stuffed up, so I can't really smell it, so that's nice. Some bubbling water down there. I'm pretty happy I can't smell any of it. This one's really active. So it might be kind of hard to, whoa! This one's got some bubbling mud coming out of it. So don't want to get too close. So I just asked our guide how hot the temperature is here, and he says it's around 200 degrees Celsius. This one's really intense. I'm not going to get too close though, because that seems risky. I've got to say, with how flippin' freezing I am right now, the idea of going in the hot springs does sound pretty good. But I don't know, I think with still getting over being sick and everything like that, I just don't know if I want to subject myself to extreme temperatures. We'll see, but I think they're going to drop us, Dave and I, at the border to cross over into Chile, and then they're going to do the hot springs after. So you said it's around 200 degrees Celsius? Wow. So you don't want to go in these hot springs. It is cold.
It is cold.
Very cold. I mean, it's early still in the morning. What is it, like 8?
8:10, yeah.
8:10.
And we're at 4,500 meters.
Yeah. Up at the Dali Desert. And we just We're at the geyser for a little bit. Completely lost all feeling in my toes. I only just got them back. It was very painful. We started around, what, 6 a.m. this morning? But then we made it about, what, 10 meters? And then we had
hit a flat tire.
Hit a flat tire, so it took them maybe 15-20 minutes to change it.
Yeah, pretty quick.
Now we're just, I think, heading to the green and white lakes. We just passed the hot springs. I still feel like it was probably the best decision not to do it, but
yeah,
when we drove by it, it looked so nice. I just love the idea of being warm. So it's now, what, 9:15? Our route here took a little bit longer because, actually, I don't know if it was another flat or if it was just because when we had the flat tire this morning, they changed it, but apparently the tire that they put on wasn't the right size or type for our vehicle.
The tire they put on this morning was fine. The replacement tire they had for the second flat was not the right size.
So there you have it. Luckily, another truck came by from the same company, and they gave us one of their spare tires. But yeah, it definitely took a little bit of time because we had to wait for it. But yeah, overall, not bad. We still have time to come and see the green and white lagoons before we head to the border to cross into Chile. The green lagoon gets its color from the iron, copper, and arsenic that are in it. And because of those minerals,
comes out to play in it.
Yeah, there's no animals at this one because obviously they can't drink from it. And right now it's not green because it's partially frozen over and it's winter. In the summer, when the wind is blowing and there's no ice on the lake, it does get a green color from the wind mixing up the minerals. And then the white lake is white again because of the boron content. So I think it was also just a good call in general now that we didn't stop at the hot springs first, because I think if this then happened after that, we would just been really tight for time. I mean, our guide said that there's multiple companies that are going to be crossing the border, so it shouldn't be an issue, but I think everyone was probably less stressed knowing that we had the time to kill.
Yeah.
After finishing up at the lagoons, we made our way to the border to make our crossing from Bolivia into Chile.